Hi, Tejas. I'm really happy to welcome you to the sixth edition of the Data Innovation Summit. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. To get the discussion going, could you please tell us a bit more about yourself and your background?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Tejas Chopra. I am a senior software engineer here at Netflix. What I do is I work on architecting infrastructure solutions, storage solutions to support the exabyte scale data and billions of assets that are produced by Netflix studios and streaming platforms. And prior to Netflix, I worked at a bunch of companies. I was a senior software engineer at Box, where I was architecting the infrastructure solutions to manage storage again for millions of our customers and petabytes of data. My experience has been in mostly distributed systems, cloud, storage, microservices, and I'm also into blockchains and non-fungible tokens. I'm along with that, I also am a keynote speaker. I talk on all of these technologies at different conferences, and I'm very happy to be here and talking to Ivana.
I'm very happy to be here talking to you too. That's really exciting to hear. And as you said, you are a keynote speaker and frequently visit conferences like Data Innovation Summit. Speaking of which, your Data Innovation Summit session will focus on how you use a combination of compression, deduplication, and encryption in hybrid storage environments to reduce the cloud footprint at Netflix. So to start with, could you please tell us what cloud footprint means and what attendees will be able to take away from your presentation?
Sure. So today, enterprises such as Netflix and Box store a lot of their data on the cloud. Cloud footprint is how much data they are storing on the cloud. And if you look at Box, there is petabytes of data on cloud and Netflix has exabytes of data. So if you just blindly put all of the data on cloud, it will run into billions of dollars in terms of money for these enterprises. So you have to massage the data to reduce the size of the data and put it on cloud so that you pay less. And that's what I mean when I say reducing the cloud footprint of data. In terms of takeaways, cloud costs are spiraling out of hand for a lot of enterprises. And we have seen traditionally that file systems and storage, there are techniques such as compression and deduplication, which try to reduce the size of the data in storage in your local machines. And this session will actually focus on trying to take those concepts to cloud and how it can work with cloud. So another takeaway would be how to design systems around both hybrid and cloud environments so that you're not tied into a particular vendor or you're not tied into just the cloud. You can use these techniques in both environments and it can span across different cloud vendors. And finally, how it has helped companies such as Netflix and Box to move to the next generation of products that they are coming out with by using such techniques. So those are the takeaways. Yeah.
Great. As far as you mentioned, cloud footprint, we know that cloud enables organizations to establish better business continuity, enhance collaboration, and enable true development at scale. But what are the most frequent challenges that stand in the way of cloud computing?
Sure. The first biggest challenge is costs. And so in cloud, when you store data, you don't just pay for storing the data. You actually pay when you want to read the data back also. Mm-hmm. And that has been challenging for a lot of companies. And so understanding the cost dynamics of cloud, designing systems that can work well in the cloud with their cost models has always been a challenge. The other thing is cloud has a lot of options. If you go to AWS website and you'll just look at all the options for database, there are like 10s and 20s options available for databases. Which one to pick, which one to choose has always been a challenge. The other thing is cloud gives a very centralized nature because when you use cloud, you use it with a vendor such as Amazon or Microsoft or Google. So you are tied into the vendor and all the data is under their control. So if tomorrow Amazon goes down, so does your data. And so designing for multi-cloud environments where you have multiple cloud providers, designing for a hybrid infrastructure where you have cloud and some on-premise, those have been some of the challenges that enterprises have faced when designing for this infrastructure.
Great. Yeah, thank you for the insight. But moving away from challenges and now focusing on practices and solutions, what are the best software engineering practices that will really benefit that data and AI engineering, according to you?
Yeah, I think that designing systems in a way that they are not tied into a particular cloud vendor, designing generic systems that can span across hybrid and cloud environments, and the thing is that moving of data, when you move data from one place to another, it is always costly. So instead of moving data and applying code to the data, you try to get code towards the data. So you move code instead of move data. What that means is basically leveraging serverless and lambdas in cloud, so that you can avoid moving a lot of data around, especially for AI and data engineering purposes. That is something that is going to definitely help engineers. And finally, there are a lot of compute intensive workloads in AI. So on-premise systems may actually be a better bet because you can choose the hardware appropriately and you are not left to the mercy of cloud providers for your hardware. So I think those are some of the practices that folks can look at.
Awesome. Yeah. And as a last talking point of our discussion, what would you say are some possible future trends that we can expect in cloud computing and management?
Sure. I think there are two major points here. One of them is Andreessen Horowitz recently came out with a report that said that, many enterprises first started off with having their own infrastructure. Then they moved to cloud. And there are enterprises that are designed from ground up to just be on cloud so that they don't have to manage their own infrastructure. But today we are seeing a lot of enterprises bitten by the cloud, and that's why they want to come back to on-premise. So the future will actually be hybrid. Both will coexist. There will be some aspects of it that will be on cloud, some aspects that they will have to manage. The other part is we today are in a world where we talk about centralized cloud, where cloud is owned by enterprises themselves, like Microsoft, Amazon, Azure, and GCP. However, in the future, we will get decentralized cloud, where cloud is nothing but a collection of machines owned by many people around the world. This will be enabled by using blockchain technologies, where there will be a marketplace for folks that want cloud services and folks that want to provide cloud services. And I think that as the blockchain technology matures, this is where the world will move on. And it'll also, the benefits are you will not be tied to a vendor, there'll be security, and also the costs would be like 10 times lower than what you're paying right now. So that's, I think, the future of cloud computing.
Nice. These are some exciting trends and predictions that we really look forward to. But yes, I would like to thank you again for engaging in this discussion with me today. And I really look forward to your session at the Data Innovation Summit.
Thank you so much, Ivana. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.